Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2026 related video here on my channel, and today it is the return of a series to my channel where I focus on the Super Saturdays of a Eurovision season. Those days where quite a lot is happening across the continent with regards to an upcoming edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which, as we all know, in this instance is taking place this May in Vienna in Austria. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below. And as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So I wouldn't say that this is a massive Super Saturday in the world of the Eurovision Song Contest, but tomorrow, at least tomorrow at the time of recording this video you're watching now, Saturday the 14th of February 2026, we have 5 shows occurring across the continent, and 3 of those shows will result in a confirmed act and song for this year's upcoming Austria-staged ESC. As I speak to you now, Friday, February the 13th, 2 shows are currently happening. The second semi-final of Greece's national selection, Sing for Greece, and the second semi-final of Dora in Croatia. Both of those shows will conclude on Sunday, February the 15th, so I'll be covering those as well in this video you're watching now. I'm not going to talk about the songs in any great depth, mainly because I don't think I'm very good at doing it, and I am not a professional journalist, but I will go through the songs that I think are in with a real shot of victory. I'll also mention my personal favourites. I will also take this opportunity to say that if you'd like to know my personal top 3 of any national final that has already happened or is about to happen, do take a look at the Instagram page, link in the description as always, rajc.esc, and you can see my top 3s of national selections on that page. I am also posting my personal favourites from all national finals this Eurovision season on my posts tab here on YouTube, so take a look there as well if you so wish. Anyway, the point of these videos is to be as bite-sized as I possibly can be, just going through them one by one, saying who I think is going to win and why, my personal favourites, and then we move on. And I will film more videos like this for the rest of the Eurovision season. I'm looking on EurovisionWorld.com. So this weekend we have Eesti Laul in Estonia, we have Heat 3 of Melfest, which I'm not really going to talk about much at all in this video because I already make specific videos about Melodifestivalen. I've already made one regarding the Heat 3 snippets, so take a look at that if you want to. We have Heat 4 in Lithuania. We have DMGP in Denmark. We will be getting a result from that show and an act and song for this year's competition in Vienna. And we have the final of Latvia's Supernova. They are all tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, we have the final of Greece's national selection and Croatia's national selection. And then next week, well, we'll talk about that later on. Anyway, let's begin with Estonia, shall we? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Estonia is one of my favourite countries in the ESC. I usually really like what they bring to the table. I usually really like the lineup in Eesti Laul. Do I think it's as strong as it was a few years ago? Maybe not, but I still think the quality is generally not too bad. Now, I don't know about you, and maybe I feel this way every damn Eurovision season at around this time of year, but I feel as though the national final quality in general for this upcoming edition of Eurovision just ain't that strong. It's not bad, but it ain't that great. I feel as though Eesti Laul is actually one of the stronger national finals we have, and it all gets going tomorrow night in Tallinn with 12 songs involved. 171 were received by the broadcaster, and a 34-member jury panel selected the 12 that we've known about for ages. The running order is as follows. Apologies for any mispronunciations as always. Number 1, Jolly Roger by Klitscheric and Max. Song 2 is Metsik Ros by Robert Linner. That is the son of Ivo Linner, I believe, who was Estonia's representative in 1996 in Oslo. He's been involved many times. Robert is now taking part, and I think did a song with his father a couple of years ago. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Song 3, Grete Paia, Taivas Jäi Üles. Song 4 is Warrior by Laura Pritz. Song 5 is Rhythm of Nature by Juliana Olhaina. Song 6 is Slave by Ollie. Song 7 is Kel Kus by Marta Pikani. Song 8 is Days Like This by Noep. Song 9 is The Game by Getorjani. Song 10, Ant and Minimal Wind with Wounds Don't Wanna Fall. Song 11, Vanilla Ninja with Too Epic to Be True. Song 12, Stockholm Cowboys with Last Man Standing. So, the hot favourite here is Ollie. He was the runner-up a few years ago. And then again, he was the runner-up a few years ago. Will it be third time lucky for 32-year-old Oliver Mazurczak, whose father is the drummer from the Estonian bands Too Quick Start and Night Star? Too Quick Start have been in Eesti Laul a long time ago. Anyway, Slave is pretty good. It's very similar to the songs that he's had in the past, so maybe it's a tad disappointing that he's not doing something out of his comfort zone. Maybe, I don't know, you could argue that. But this is pretty solid stuff. It would be a pretty good Eurovision entry for Estonia. It's not massively heavy, but I suppose it's going in that sort of vein. We know that he's a pretty good performer. I think he's a pretty good vocalist, and maybe this is now his time. He's in the middle of the running order. A lot of people are expecting him to win. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I should say there is a jury and public vote, and the top 3 go through to a super final, and I believe it's pure public voting then, deciding who represents Estonia in Vienna this May. Ollie will surely be in that top 3 somewhere. The other major contenders, well, let's go through them again. Robert Linner out. Laura Pritz out. Juliana Olhaina, that's an interesting song, a little bit repetitive. It's out. Marta Pikani out. Noep with Days Like This. A lot of people quite like it, I believe. It's okay. It's really missing a spark for me. I don't think that's going to win. Stockholm Cowboys. This is Victor Krone, former Estonian Eurovision representative back in Tel Aviv a few years ago, with Stig Rasta. Yes, he's back yet again. He returns every couple of years. They've teamed up for this track. And I don't know. There's something massively predictable about the whole thing. Once it gets going, you just sort of know how it's going to progress. There's no real surprises on display here. It's not bad, but at the same time, I'm thinking about replay value. And for me personally, I don't mind Stig Rasta. Victor Krone, sure. But is this a song that I'm going to want to listen to numerous times moving forwards? I'm not sure it is. And I don't think this is in with much of a chance. Greta Paja, who arguably should have represented Estonia back in 2013, she was the runner-up that year. She's great, beautiful woman. This song is pretty rock solid, I would say. It's not too bad at all. But I just think it's maybe lacking support, maybe. I've not seen anybody say that this is really going to win, or indeed make the top 3. Then you've got Getorjani, former Estonian Eurovision representative back in 2011 with Rockefeller Street. She was massively underrated in Dusseldorf, if you ask me. It's been many years. She's coming back. She's coming back with a very credible effort. I hope the public don't sort of underestimate this one a little bit, or what's the word I'm looking for? I hope the public appreciate this, because I think the jury will dish out a reasonable amount of love. Whether it's enough to make the top 3 or not, I don't really know, but it is a very solid effort. Klitscheric and Max, I believe, are pretty big in Estonia. The song, certainly on Spotify, other streaming platforms are available, has had hundreds of thousands of listens, I think. Definitely a lot more than some of these other tracks. Not that that really counts for much, but I think the public are going to like this a lot more than the jury. And when I made a For Fun prediction a few days ago, this actually missed out on the top 3 altogether in the prediction that I made. And I was quite surprised by that because, in all honesty, I do think this can make the top 3. I think the public are going to go relatively big for this. But we all know this is more of a public favourite than a jury favourite. And if this was to go to Eurovision, the juries just aren't really going to go big for this at all. I don't think so. Anyway, they're in with a shot. They're on first. The running order doesn't matter too much here. It's worth keeping an eye out for them. Ant and Minimal Wind, this is a beautiful, tender, lovely sounding track. Really, really lovely. Ant was involved last year. He did all right. Minimal Wind have been involved twice before, Armageddon most recently. That was great. Didn't love the live performance. And then a few years ago with What to Make of This, came out of nowhere, massive dark horse galloping in, and they finished second. Great song. This is really wonderful. But it's lacking that cutting edge, I think, to really make much of an impression. So I think the Estonian public might just think, not for us. And the juries, for all I know, the jury members, might not be hugely on board with this one either, but I hope they are. It could make the top three. That leaves Ollie, who I've already spoken about, and Vanilla Ninja, the Swiss representatives 21 years ago in Kiev, and they were involved for the first time in Eesti Laul over 20 years ago. I believe it was with Club Kung Fu in 2003, when Lena Kurma, the lead singer, was, 15 years of age or something? Anyway, it's just the three of them now, I believe. And this song, Too Epic to Be True, it's super basic. It really is a pretty basic sort of rock pop entry. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot happening in the performance. They've already performed this live. There's a video online of them performing this live. And they sound pretty good. They look pretty good. Sven Loimus has written this, and when he's involved with an Eesti Laul track, everybody else better watch out, because this man clearly has plenty of experience. He's written Estonian Eurovision entries before. He wrote Randajad, I think, for Urban Symphony back in 2009. So he knows what he's doing. He's got pedigree. And although some of his songs, I think, get very mixed responses, this one certainly has had a mixed response, he usually does the business in Eesti Laul. Certainly this song will be challenging for victory. And I have to say, it's my personal favourite. So if they win, I'll be a happy man. Realistically, top three, not winning. It's Ollie's to lose, I would say, at this point. I don't think anything's going to change in the next 24 hours. But that is the situation with Eesti Laul. We now move on, after that huge boring ramble, to the next selection, which is Denmark, DMGP. I don't know what it is with Denmark. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Their national final hasn't been that brilliant for a very long time. The diversity hasn't always been there, certainly, I would make that case. And the interest from Eurovision fans in DMGP is relatively low, I would say, and that's been the case for a long time too. And yet, every song that goes to Eurovision for them, I end up really liking. And Denmark usually end up in my personal top 10 of the year. And I guarantee it's probably going to happen again this time around. DMGP is taking place in Frederikshavn tomorrow night. A meet and greet took place in Copenhagen on January the 22nd, where the artists and songs were presented. A committee of industry professionals alongside several Danish and international focus groups selected the 8 songs that we've known about for a good while. We have Sander Sanchez with Two Spirits, Late Runner, Can You Feel It, Soren Toppegaard Lund, For Vi Går Hjem, Sissal, Infinity, Emil Otto, Copenhagen Noir, Mirkur, Touch My Love and Die, Lasse Skriver, Roaring Heart, Erika Jane, Death of Me. This is a 2-horse race as far as I'm concerned. You maybe agree with me here. Sissal, last year's Danish representative, born in the Faroe Islands. She's pretty cool, a likeable personality, blonde hair, great voice. Last year, Hallucination, big pop song, not doing anything incredible. Got Denmark back into the final, so that's a success story in itself. However, where were the points? Very few came her way. She's coming back with Infinity, which really is what she had last year, turned up a notch, in my opinion. It's a really great song. It's a really credible effort once again. However, is this really going to do a lot better than Hallucination? I don't know. Anyway, look at the songwriting team. Jimmy Turnfeldt has somehow wangled his way in here, along with Joy Deb and Linnea Deb. And seeing those names, I mean, before I even heard the song in full, I thought this is going to be a really serious contender. So Sissal could do it again, and I think she's coming back with a point to prove. However, is that point really going to be proved, if you see what I mean? Because I don't know. This really could be in the final in Vienna and not get a whole lot of love from the public. And that could be 2 years in a row for Sissal. and that would really sting. The other major contender here is Erika Jane with Death of Me. This is really good. There's potential here for fabulous staging. It's one of, I would say this is one of the best pop efforts from any national final this season. I don't think anybody should be sleeping on it. It's a bit of an underrated gem. It absolutely should be challenging hard for the win. Really hard for the win. We've also got Soren Torpegardelund. He was involved a few years ago. I can't really say too much about this song. It's okay, it's definitely not my favourite. A lot of people quite like it, but I think he's up against the two people that I just mentioned, and I think Danish viewers are going to gravitate more towards those two previously mentioned women. What I will say, in terms of the voting, similar to how it's been before, there's going to be jury and public voting, the top three super final, same voting methods implemented. We will find out then who is representing Denmark in Austria this May. Touch My Love and Die is my third favourite. Erika's number 1, Sissal number 2, Mirkur number 3. This is a really atmospheric, dark, moody, strange sounding song, I suppose. Really different from anything else in this lineup, so it stands out a mile. And Mirkur are relatively well known, I would say. It's Amelie Brun, that is the person front and centre here. A couple of albums, many singles, making music for over a decade, folk rock, black metal, black gaze, gothic metal. Goodness me. Flying under the radar, I would say, this particular track. If it was in another national final, maybe more people would be loving it. But anyway, there you go. The rest of the lineup, it's okay, but it is absolutely, in my opinion, a two-horse race. Did I say my top three for Estonia? It's Vanilla Ninja, Anton Minimal Wind and Ollie. Anyway, after that, we have Latvia Supernova 2026. It's taking place, in Riga on February the 14th. We've had the two semi-finals. Semi-final 1, 12 songs, and 6 went through. Semi-final 2, February the 7th, that was, again, 12 songs, and 5 went through. Oh, yes, sorry. 5 from semi-final 1, 5 from semi-final 2. The lineup in the final is as follows. Demantra, Let Them. No chance of winning. Elpo, Blackus. One member of this group did Junior Eurovision for Latvia years ago. Pretty solid effort. Probably not enough support to win. I don't know. Song 3, Take It, Chrissy. Not going to win in my opinion. Song 4, Teuntagad Kautkeli. This is a musical group. Female lead vocals. The staging, in my opinion, was excellent. Eurovision ready. Everything about this I quite liked. The song itself, chilled out, relaxed. Nothing terribly fancy going on with the song. They've taken it, really ramped up the staging to try and make it memorable, and I think it's really working. And I really, really hope Latvians strongly get behind this one, because it is by a mile one of the strongest choices they could make. However, they're not the favourites to win. Song 5, Ribbon, Legsdin. So this woman, whose first name is Eliza, I think, yes, Latvian-British, involved last year with Bel Tempo, had a brilliant song called The Water, I believe it was. I can't quite remember. You can tell it's been a long day for me. But that was really, really magnificent. I really, really liked that song. One of the best Latvian national final songs I think I've ever heard. Anyway, going solo this time around, it's not a bad effort, but I don't think it's going to challenge too hard for the win. Song 6, on the other hand, is the favourite. This is Emilia, who has a lot of support in Latvia, with All We Ever Had. Their previous entry was better, but I don't think their previous entry won the public half of the results. It was last year, wasn't it? And it was the Ludwig who won the public vote. Yes, it was. Emilia was third with the public last year. So that makes me think they're not going to win the public vote this time either. But they are the favourites to win. It's just a bit too repetitive, this track. It's not standing out very much at all. It's fine, but there are better options in my personal opinion. Song 7, hashtag 010126 Coda Tikasha Sakama. Really lovely, very stripped back. Blink and you'll miss it, really. Really glad it's in the final, but it ain't going to win. Song 8, Enna Atvara. Mystical, mysterious. There's CGI bits of glass swaying all around her. That's what it looks like. This is really very nice and could do very well at Eurovision, especially in the jury half of the results in the final, should Latvia get there, and I think with this song they probably would. This is a serious contender. Song 9, Raven at the Taj Mahal, Robert Ox, member of Chitizeni. This song is clearly a little bit on the humorous side, I would say. I've seen the performance, don't remember a great deal about it, to be honest. I don't think it's really hitting top gear, shouldn't be winning at all. And then song 10 could do very well. Mix Galvanovskis with Cruel Angel. This is a bit more of a rock effort. Certainly could get a lot of love. Shouldn't be ruled out. But really, it is between Count Cayley with Teon Tagad and Emilia with All We Ever Had. And I will tell you now, any Latvians watching, if you send the wrong song here, I'll be backhanding you so hard you'll be seeing stars. Because, come on now. Most Eurovision fans very much think it's going to be Teon Tagad or Enna. One of those, that's a good choice. Anything else, it might not be your time, Latvia. Let's just put it that way. And of course, Latvia are aiming for a third Eurovision final in a row. And I think with the two major contenders I've already mentioned here several times now, they can get into the final. Anything else, I'm not too sure about. Anyway, that's happening there. There's jury and public voting, no super final. And I believe if there is a tie, the public have the final word. In terms of the other shows then, Sweden, Heat 3, Melfest, like I said at the start of this video, I've already spoken about this. Heat 3 is in Kristianstad. We have Dusk Till Dawn, Patrick Jean. I'm not loving the sound of that one. Staging is quite interesting though. King of Rock and Roll, Kors Schlagda. Yeah, pretty damn basic. Ingenting, Emilia Pantic. Looks as though they're going to have blue lighting for this one. Yeah, looks quite pretty. Lacking support, perhaps. Viva l'Amour, Medina. Stick to what you know, lads. Stick to what you know and it's bound to work. This is probably winning the heat. Song 5, Selfish by Ava. Nice. Can't see it going through. And then Song 6, Ain't Today, Saga Ludvigsson. Yeah, reminding me a bit of Coyote Ugly for some reason. The way that's going to come across live. Short rehearsal clips are on SVT Play as I speak to you now. That's how I know about this. But yes, Saga and Medina probably going through. After Sweden, Lithuania's Heat 4. Is anybody really following this too closely, I ask? Heat 4 has several artists, 8 once again. 2 will go through directly to the final. A third participant will go through to a second chance round thing. In this heat we have Lion Seca, Solo Quiero Más, Freya Ali, No Kiss Goodbye, Nora Blue, I think she's one of the favourites with Hold My Own, Shower, also one of the favourites with Contact, exclamation mark, and several others. And yeah, I am watching recaps every week, but really it's the final that matters, and that isn't going to happen until February the 27th. The online wildcard second chance round thingamajig is on the 21st to 22nd of February, and we already have 3 songs in that particular online vote. Now, on Sunday, Greece. We all know what's going to happen here, don't we? Barring some sort of massive shock. Sing for Greece. We've had the first semi-final the other day. 14 tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 went through. And it's pure public voting in the semi-finals. The jury will play a part in the final. I think there's international voting as well, but I could be wrong. 264 songs were received by the broadcaster. And the 28 entries were selected by a 7-member jury and revealed some time ago. What's happening right now, semi-final 2, we have Good Job Nicky. That's my favourite of this selection. Quite contemporary. If he nails the vocals live, could be onto something very special. We also have Cosa Mostra, former Greek representatives back in 2013 with Bulletproof. I don't mind that song. Zaf with Asteo, that could be very good live. We also have Garvin back in the game, didn't mind that one. And of course, several others. Kiana with No More Drama. That's my number 2. But the favourite to win by a mile is an act from semi-final 1. Akilas with Ferto, which I think means Bring It. Like I just said, my third favourite of this selection. I don't love it, but I like it. Some people think this could win Eurovision. I'm not sure about that. But if this goes to Eurovision, it's bound to do quite well. It's a real crowd pleaser. It's catchy, it's fun, it's really quite camp. The staging, maybe not bang on the money. We've got sort of computer 8-bit graphic type stuff, I think, happening on the screen behind him. There's a couple of people dancing away. He's got the microphone. It's fun. It's definitely something you can watch more than once and enjoy it again and again. However, if it goes to Eurovision, improvements definitely will have to be made, and I'm sure they would be made. And also, the juries. Are they going to love this as much as the public? I don't know, but he is absolutely by a mile the man to beat. He will perform 12th in the grand final this Sunday. That leaves Croatia. Dora, the Explorer, is taking place in Zagreb. 251 entries were received by the broadcaster. The songs were revealed ages ago. In the first semi-final, 12 tracks, only 4 missed out. We have the likes of Lelek, Noel, Emma Bubic, Lima Len, all in the final. Tonight is semi-final 2, where we have Lara Demerin, we have Gabriel Ivic, he was the replacement act, we have Kansia, Marko Kutlic, and so on. I think semi-final 1 arguably a lot stronger. The favourite to win here, in fact, let me just go back to not Lithuania. I don't really have a favourite from Lithuania yet. Greece, yeah, I mentioned my top 3 there, and I mentioned my top 3 for Latvia as well, I think, which is Kautkeli, Atvara, and Ivo Oskis, who was knocked out in one of the semi-finals. Anyway, yes, back to Croatia, dear viewers. Yeah, not a bad lineup. There's talk about Cold Snap doing really, really well, and that could be very interesting indeed. Anyway, in the semi-finals, I think it's pure public voting. Could be wrong. In the final, that's when the juries come along and have their say too. The favourite to win, Lelek, Andromeda. They were involved before. Was it last year or the year before? I think they won the public vote, but the juries weren't quite so keen. No, it wasn't last year. It must have been the year before. The Soul of My Soul. When the hell did they take part last? I don't know. I can't find it. Yes, here we are. It was last year. They finished 4th and won the public vote. No, they didn't. They were 2nd in the public vote. My apologies. Anyway, Andromeda is really good. Very atmospheric. Maybe a little bit spooky and eerie. Very choral. So unlike anything else that we're probably going to have at Eurovision, truth be told. So it would stand out. I really do like it. Live... Yeah, I saw the performance very recently and I can barely remember it. I don't know, I think a lot of the artists maybe had trouble with, I don't know, the vocal mixing or something, because nobody sounded absolutely sensational. But this is, without question, Croatia's best choice in my opinion. The other major contenders, I would say, Zevin, no, not Zevin. Yes, Zevin, because there's also a Devin. I'm all over the place. Zevin with My Mind. This is a very bouncy, slightly hyperactive, I would say, type pop song. That will have already been performed tonight, as I speak to you now. No idea what it's going to look or sound like. It's definitely a challenger, but Lelek are, by a mile, the best choice, if you ask me. We've also got Lima Len, that is another fairly hyperactive track, which I really don't mind, truth be told. Noel, definitely going for a bit of, you know, Fuego, I would say, from several years ago for Cyprus, in that sort of vein. We also have, who else is there that's really worth mentioning? I'm not sure anybody else is, truth be told. That just shows you that there are far stronger contenders than some of the others, that's for sure. And Andromeda is the best choice. It's as simple as that. And it's being co-written by... let me find it here. It's being co-written by Zorya, who we are familiar with because she's competed in Serbia's selection a few times in the past. Is that it? I believe so. That is the end of this Super Saturday preview, if you will. It's ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but there we are. Next week, there's not really much of a Super Saturday at all, but we are getting the Belgian artist and song. I have very high hopes for that. Austria's national selection is taking place. That's stinky stuff. We have Heat 4 in Sweden, Heat 5 in Lithuania, We also have the first semi-final in Portugal. And who knows, maybe Czechia will wake up and we will get their artist and song as well. And it's about time we had some news from France and Australia as well. As for the UK, it's anybody's guess. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on these upcoming national selections. And until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.